get with a white woman because I was scared she might have me running down the street like Jonathan Majors.
There you go. See, come on, Katt.
Not because I didn't like white women. I think white women are as great as any other women. But I'm not gonna act like I'm not scared of them. I have a reason to be scared. You could be Kang the Conqueror, and they could take your rabbit ass down in 2 weekends.
Was a man who'd already been warned and chose to ignore it. Rewind to the viral interview on Club Shay Shay, where Katt Williams looked Shannon Sharpe in the eye and dropped one of the realest gems on the internet. Katt wasn't joking. He said straight up, big black man, small white woman. That's not a good look. And Shannon just laughed it off. But what if I told you, while Katt was giving that warning, Shannon was already knee deep in the exact situation Katt was talking about? Yup, that moment wasn't just a viral clip, it was a ticking time bomb. And now that bomb has exploded. We're talking about
friends, supporters, and colleagues. I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown.
You know, it is a shakedown. It is a targeted attack, but Shannon needed to have some accountability because he gave them something to shake down. He gave them something to target by making poor choices.
Trying to hang out with these young and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Oh, you don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. I know. This is your auntie talking to you.
But what if I told you, while Katt was giving that warning
about a scandal that starts with a grown man, a white OnlyFans model, and a situation that's spiraling fast into lawsuits, headlines, and deep internet backlash. This isn't just celebrity drama. This is about power, race, and a level of recklessness that's hard to look away from. And it all goes back to that Club Shay Shay interview. Katt wasn't just making jokes. She was trying to save Shannon from himself. Too bad Shannon wasn't listening. By the way, before we continue, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow and share more intriguing stories.
It was Katt because he told me. He said they're gonna come for you, and I was like, Katt, come on, Katt. I mean, I just, you know.
Now let's continue, because what's coming next? It's not just shocking, it's downright disturbing. Shannon Sharpe, a respected former NFL star, is now the center of a $50 million nightmare. And the woman at the center of it? She's not just young, she's almost young enough to be his granddaughter. Let's get into it. The lawsuit dropped like a bombshell. A $50 million civil case was filed in Clark County, Nevada. And the woman behind it? An OnlyFans model named Gabriella Zuniga. But this wasn't some casual fling gone wrong. According to court documents, Gabriella is accusing Shannon Sharpe of 2 separate rapes, emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, and secretly recording their private moments without her consent. And it doesn't
he wasn't at a strip club, but his text messages have been revealed, and it's quite embarrassing for ESPN. So he used to be on First Take, and now they are putting that on ice.
Stop there. She says Shannon even threatened her life. This isn't just messy, it's dark. The timeline makes it worse. They allegedly met at a Los Angeles gym in 2023. Shannon was 54. Gabriella, just 19. That's a 35-year age gap. Now ask yourself, how does a young girl fresh out of high school end up in a twisted relationship like this with a grown man who's been famous longer than she's been alive?
Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
The answer might lie in the way Shannon chose to pursue her. What started as flirting at the gym turned into a full-blown scandal. The details in this case are not easy to ignore. From the beginning, people were raising eyebrows over the age difference. But once the accusations came out, everything changed. It's not just about a man being older anymore. It's about power, control, and how someone like Shannon, with money, status, and a massive platform could take advantage of someone so young and inexperienced. This isn't just an age gap, it's a gap in maturity, life experience, and emotional understanding, and it's making people look at Shannon very differently. But here's where it gets even creepier. This wasn't just some wild relationship between an older man and a younger woman. According to the lawsuit, Shannon was into race play, and not just casually. Gabriella said,
I do not think that the element is true. I do think that he has been behaving sloppily, and so that has caught up with him.
Encouraged it and pushed it to disturbing levels. Now, if you don't know what race play is, let's just say it involves racially charged fantasies acted out during intimate moments. And in this case, the power dynamics were insane. A rich, powerful 54-year-old black man telling a 19-year-old white girl to say things like, "Put a big black baby in me." That's not just a red flag, it's a siren. And Gabriella didn't just come up with that language. language. People are now convinced that Shannon was the one who introduced it. Why? Because in the leaked text messages Shannon himself released, only her words were shown, none of his. Suspicious, right? The texts sound like she's repeating something she was told to say. Think about it. What 19-year-old Hawaiian girl is walking around saying big black baby and baby gravy? That's not typical. That's not normal. That's coached. That's a fetish. And that's why it's blowing up so fast. The internet isn't just disgusted, it's shocking how reckless Shannon was. If this type of content is real and he truly encouraged it, then this isn't just a scandal, it's a full-on reputation meltdown. And Shannon's fans, they're not defending him anymore. They're watching this all unfold like a train wreck.
He took a screenshot of a text message, which clearly had to have been written by someone else, maybe his lawyer or his PR team. It wasn't written by him. And then he shared it onto X, so people were laughing at him going, you're not supposed to share, you're supposed to make it sound like it actually was written by you.
And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, leaked audio surfaced. In the recording, Shannon can be heard threatening Gabriella, saying something along the lines of, I might choke you in public. Now, pause for a second. This isn't just some vague, out-of-context quote. This is a grown man, on tape, feeding right into the exact stereotype Katt Williams warned him about. Big black man, small white woman, violence. That's the image this audio paints.
You're coming to LA tomorrow?
Yes.
Well, I don't know why you want to go out.
Don't worry about it, Daddy.
Well, okay.
Okay, what?
Well, I'm not really interested in getting choked, so I guess we're going.
Yeah. I might choke you in public. Big black guy chokes small white woman.
It's not a good look, Shannon.
Not a good look that you do with the shit you did to me.
Okay, well...
And the way Shannon spoke, it didn't sound like a joke. It didn't sound like fantasy. It sounded like a man way too comfortable crossing dangerous lines. But here's what's even more disturbing. That audio, it sounds like part of one of their roleplay sessions. Gabriella even baited him in the clip, talking about getting choked. But the moment Shannon responded, it was done. That moment got recorded, and now it's being used as evidence.
I know one thing, if you're 54, you have no reason to be talking to a 19-year-old. She's 22 now, Shannon is 56. I'm so glad that audio of Monique went viral yesterday.
So it appears the truth is that Shannon Sharpe essentially quit before he was fired. He wanted to avoid people kind of laughing at him or saying he was fired. Again, I don't wish him bad. I hope that he finds happiness. I don't particularly take him to be a happy or a well-rounded.
Whether or not it was consensual before, the way it's being flipped now is brutal and possibly career-ending. And let's not forget, this is a girl who is just 19. She's barely into adulthood, and now she's at the center of one of the biggest celebrity lawsuits of the year. Fans are listening to that audio and immediately making up their minds. Whether Shannon was baited or not, the fact that he let himself get caught in that moment is on him. Now, here's the part that really has people talking. This relationship wasn't some innocent love story. Gabriella wasn't his girlfriend in the traditional sense. She was basically a paid worker. According to leaked messages, she told Shannon flat out she wanted $25,000 for each cheek. You heard that right, 25 grand per cheek. That alone tells you the vibe of the relationship. It wasn't built on love or connection. It was transactional. And once money gets involved like that, everything becomes murky. Consent, emotions, control, it all gets complicated real fast. But it gets nastier. More leaked texts showed Gabriella saying things like she wanted Shannon to put a big black baby in her, and and even talking about doing things to his brown balloon knot. If you know, you know. It's vulgar, it's wild, and it definitely doesn't sound like something that just randomly came out of her mouth. People aren't buying the idea that this 19-year-old was actually into Shannon like that. Not for a second. It's becoming more obvious she was saying those things because he asked her to, because he wanted that specific fantasy. This wasn't some spontaneous dirty talk. This was scripted, directed, and now with everything going public, Shannon's carefully crafted image as a polished professional media figure is getting shredded to pieces. Even if everything had been technically consensual, the way it all played out makes Shannon Sharpe look straight up predatory. Let's be real, he was 54, Gabriella was just 19. That's not just an age gap, that's two completely different worlds, and that's what has fans stunned. Why would someone with Shannon's success, fame, and platform risk it all for a teenager who barely knows who she is yet? And the wild part? She's even younger than his own kids. People are doing the math and realizing this girl could literally be his granddaughter. That's how deep the age gap runs. And once you hear about all the stuff he was allegedly into, especially the race play and the power dynamic, becomes impossible to look at this like just another scandal. It's not just a relationship that went bad. It's a grown man chasing a young woman who was easy to mold, easy to control, and likely didn't know what she was signing up for. This isn't about love. This is about control. Gabriella didn't come up with all that freaky race-based talk out of nowhere. She was coached into it, repeating back what he said, trying to keep him happy. And now she's flipped it all into a legal case that's catching fire online. It's no longer about what's legal, but about what's right. And people across the internet are asking the same thing. What was a man that age doing in a situation like this to begin with? And while all this mess was unfolding, Shannon tried to flip the script. He came out publicly claiming he was the real victim. He called the lawsuit a shakedown and pointed fingers at Gabriella's attorney, Tony Busby, accusing him of targeting success.
What is you doing, Unc? You ain't got no business out here with no 20-year-old white girl, with no 20-year-old period. Nothing wrong with being no freak, but be a freak and it makes sense.
Busby does have a history with high-profile cases, including going after big names like Jay-Z. But here's the thing, Shannon is trying to play the black man under attack card while being accused of race play behind closed doors? That didn't sit right with anybody. How are you gonna cry racism publicly when you're out here allegedly paying white women to humiliate you in racial fantasies? It doesn't add up. People are calling it out, saying he's only bringing up race now that he's caught in the
Got this little ass girl sticking her tongue in your ass, your big football playing ass. That ass that play hella football, training camp, 2-a-days, 4 seasons. Funky ass.
Fire. Where was all that energy when he was degrading himself and letting a teenager talk to him like that in private? And get this, Shannon tried to warn fans ahead of time that Busby might release a 30-second clip from a private tape, claiming it'll play into every stereotype imaginable. But instead of calming things down, that just made people even more curious. What's on that tape? And why would it be so damaging unless there's truth behind what Gabriella is saying? The internet doesn't forget, and right now, Shannon looks like a man who's not just cornered, and the more he tries to spin it, the more the truth seems to leak out. What's making this whole thing even worse is Shannon's past behavior. This is the same guy who spent years clowning black women on his platform, taking shots, making jokes, acting like they weren't good enough for him, and now, after everything's blown up in his face, he's standing around asking for sympathy? People are not having it. They're pointing out the hypocrisy loud and clear. When it came to uplifting his own people, Shannon was nowhere to be found, but now that he's drowning in
Sit your old ass down and go find somebody your age and build a family with them. As I said yesterday, men, we need stability and we need discipline.
Controversy over a teenage OnlyFans model. Suddenly he wants the support of the community he used to mock. It's not flying this time. The internet is full of receipts. Clips from Club Shay Shay are getting dug up where Shannon laughed off real advice not just from Katt Williams, but also from Monique, who literally sat across from him and tried to school him on dating older women and avoiding drama. Shannon just giggled. He didn't take it seriously, and now the warnings he ignored are the same ones coming back to haunt him. Fans are saying it straight up. This isn't a conspiracy to take down a successful black man. This is the fallout of a grown man who chose to chase clout, control, and fantasy over common sense. His reputation isn't getting torched by some grand setup, it's getting torched because of his own choices. Let's talk about the Club Shay Shay timeline, because this is where it all starts to fall apart for Shannon. When Katt Williams dropped that now famous warning about white women and how quickly they can flip the script, Shannon was already involved with Gabriella. He didn't say it was good advice. He didn't reflect. He sat there nodding, smiling awkwardly like the words didn't apply to him, and it didn't stop there. Shortly after, Monique came on the same show and tried again to put him on game. She looked him in the eye and said straight up, get yourself a grown woman, someone your age, someone who sees through the nonsense. She wasn't joking. You could tell she was speaking from experience. But Shannon, he just laughed like it was a cute little moment. What people are now realizing is this: while both of them were trying to offer real wisdom, Shannon was already knee-deep in the mess. He was already messing around with Gabriella behind the scenes, while publicly pretending like he was just out here living clean. It's the fake image that's pissing people off the most. He had every chance to back out. Every warning lay in front of him, but he didn't listen. Instead, he kept playing with fire. And now, every old clip is being rewatched with new eyes. Every laugh, every shrug, every slick comment, it all hits differently now because we know what he was hiding. And now, there's no hiding left. Now here,